Okay, we'll go ahead and start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, welcome everybody out there in the audience, friends, neighbors, people on YouTube watching our exciting commission meeting. So welcome to the regular city commission meeting today, Monday, July 14th, 2025. And the first thing we'll do is go ahead and take roll call.
Benson? Here. Birch?
Here.
Brunick?
Here.
Sarda? Here. Conkling?
Here.
Hanoff?
Here.
Mosier? Spencer? Mayor Villanueva?
Here.
City Manager Leone?
Here.
City Attorney Denherter?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Item number 2 under routine business is going to be to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 23rd, 2025. So before you, you have those minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, motion passes. Next, item number 3 under routine business, schedule of bills. Before you, you have those bills. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move to pay the bills.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Any public discussion? Okay, seeing no movement, roll call, please.
Brunick?
Aye.
Sarda?
Aye.
Conkling?
Aye.
Hanoff?
Aye.
Benson?
Aye.
Birch?
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva?
Aye. Motion passes. Bills will be paid. Okay, and next we have the city manager's report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, members of the commission and public. Before we get started, I understand we have a birthday to celebrate today, Commissioner Benson. So if you will join me in singing happy birthday to her so she can at least feel like we remembered that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bridget. Happy birthday to you. We forgot the cake. Sorry. It's not in the budget. We didn't budget for a cake.
How about the fire department said there were too many candles?
Oh,
Oh, my.
ooh.
You were doing much better when you said I was 27.
Once you dig the hole, stop digging. On a more serious matter, I do have a few things for you, commissioners. Lisa has informed me that the state has a new voter registration form. So if you are not registered to vote, or you know somebody who is looking to register for vote, they should go on the Secretary of State's website. There's a new form there, and it looks quite a bit different than previous. So please take a look at that. Also want to just talk to you a little bit about our peddler's license. You do have a transient merchant, I believe, tonight, but want to talk to you about our peddlers who come before you and they want to go door to door selling things. We had a peddler's license that you all approved, and we put the information on our social media so people were aware of that. And we received some complaints, a formal complaint, in fact, of some high pressure sales and the peddler not leaving the property when asked. Currently, you are the ones who issue the permit, and so you're the only ones who can revoke the permit. That can stay that way, but Ross and I thought that it might be a good idea if we have a situation like we've had this month where we have a number of weeks between meetings, that if we receive a formal complaint, we can discuss it with the police department and perhaps whoever the seated mayor is and allow that to take place administratively if a peddler's license needs to be revoked. Now that imparts the commission having trust in the city manager and the chief and whoever the current mayor is at the time to discuss that and say, yeah, this warrants a revocation of a license. But the complaints are just, there's nothing to do with them other than to say, well, we could call a special meeting, but there was not even enough time by the time the complaint was filed to allow you to have a special meeting. So just, if you're all okay with that, we're going to put together an ordinance and then have you guys take a look at it prior to the next warm season when we have peddlers again. That sounds fair? Okay. Awesome. Also want to talk a little bit about some information in your SharePoint. Some of you have asked for some information on the Douglas Avenue water main project and some information relating to the sidewalks. You should have some maps, some graphs, as well as some statistics there for you to take a look at. So that is not on your agenda this evening, but it is in your SharePoint to take a look at. And I want to talk to you and the entire community about our facilities and our public places. So of course, all are welcome, and we're open for everybody to enjoy those. What we're not welcomed for is people to bully, harass, or conduct themselves in a lewd or inappropriate or obscene manner. Those people will be kicked out of the facility permanently, and if they return to the facility, they will be trespassed, and we will visit with the Yankton Police Department. I wanted to say that publicly to ensure that the commission feels the same way I do, and I certainly don't want to go into the details because they involve personnel, but I can assure you some of the things that have been happening this summer have really surprised me and have really been even traumatic for some of our younger employees. And so I think what happens when we decide to remove somebody from the facility is the department head and I discuss it with the chief and with our city attorney, and we make that call. So I've been really proud of the behavior of our young people, our children at our facilities, who seem to be setting an example. Who are not setting a good example are some of the adults. So if we're all on the same page there, then I just remind the people that, you know, we're in a community and we should behave as such. Okay, that's end of sermon, as mean as I get there. Also want to talk to you, if you pull out your calendars a little bit, have a few calendar items to talk about. I did notify you, and I notified the press that you were all invited to the Lewis and Clark Behavioral Health opening. That's happening on Wednesday, this Wednesday morning, the 16th. I believe it's at 10 a.m. You're all welcome to attend. There may be a quorum present, media, but no, this city business will be discussed. We were fortunate to be able to be involved in that project early on. Many of you remember by contributing some of the land that that facility is sitting on. So we are certainly a part of this project and a partner, and I'm really excited for what this could mean for the mental health care in our community. So if you're able to join us for that, that's awesome. At our next meeting, what I plan to do is sort of a work session light item, is present the strategic plan to you and to the community. I did not get a lot of comment, but some from the commission on some of the items in our strategic plan, and then bring that forward for consideration on August 11th, I believe, is our first meeting in August. Wanted to move up our election discussion a little bit and just have a discussion with the community on then August 11th without you taking action until we have some time for feedback, perhaps considering action on the 25th. We want to put together two different calendars of what each election could look like, depending upon the date that's selected. And then we'll also have to take, beyond taking action there, we'll have to ask that Ross helps us update our ordinance. So we still need to have some work to do. But I feel like we shouldn't just present you with the information and ask you to act right away without having some time to mull it over and talk with residents. I believe Sioux Falls chose June, if that's correct, but I haven't heard what other communities have done yet.
They chose June, but that was due to the the recount, or not the recount, but the runoff procedure they have, which we don't have here.
Right,
They
right.
completely avoided the main issue, which is when can you get the most voters and the most broad-based representation of voters?
Yes. And we'll have a recommendation from staff, but it really is up to you as commissioners and to the community. So if you'll talk to folks, see if there's a preference that people have, that would be helpful for us. And then also on the 11th, Kyle Goodmanson or Tanner Hansen will be providing a little update on the wastewater project. And so that should cover us for July and August. As a reminder, August 18th, we have a budget meeting scheduled. So that's our off Monday. Right now, I'm working through the process of meeting with the Planning Commission and meeting with the Parks Advisory Board next week, I believe, to present the capital improvement plan. And then we'll move forward with finalizing the budget and presenting that to you and the public no later than the 31st of July per statute. But we will have our budget meeting where we talk about all those things on the 18th of August. Okay. From time to time, we have special young people in our community who are doing things that blow my mind and things that are outstanding and need to be recognized for. And we happen to have one of those today, Laura Villanueva, who is Miss South Dakota Junior Preteen. So we have a proclamation for her. It's even more special because she's the daughter of our mayor. So I'm going to ask if he is ready to read his proclamation for Miss South Dakota Junior Preteen.
I will be. First, I'll ask the commission, do you have any questions or comments for the city manager before we move on?
I do have a question, or a comment, I should say. In driving up and down Broadway of recent time, the old Starlight Motel that was purchased by Simples is really getting to look pretty bad. The weeds can be measured in feet, and so with Riverboat Days just a month away, I was wondering if there's anything that we can do to at least make it reasonably good appearing.
I will visit with code enforcement and get back to you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, before we move on, I just want to I want to dot the I and cross the T on what the city manager spoke about earlier. I had brought this up before when we approved peddlers licenses. I made it very clear when we approved them that we will not tolerate high-pressure sales. We will not tolerate people going door to door. If someone does not want to purchase or does not want to acquire your service or product, I just ask that you be respectful. I know there's typically a script they follow, and someone might have to say no once, twice, three times, whatever. But I know I had a phone call too, a complaint that someone said that took them about 6 times of saying no and please leave before they finally left. So we won't tolerate that, and I'm glad that Amy brought that up. Secondly, I don't know exactly what happened with the details of what she was speaking about people behaving badly. We are, as a city, as city staff, members and volunteers, we are a team. We will not tolerate people coming into our facilities that are going to mistreat or be lewd or vulgar to any of our teammates, staff, volunteers. It's just not going to happen. We won't tolerate it. Again, like I said, I just want to make that really, really clear. So thank you. Okay, switching gears. Now I get to call someone very special up here in just a second and read a proclamation. So why don't we have Laura, would you like to come up here, please? Come to the front, dear. Thank you. Okay, Laura. It's every once in a while, typically, I don't get to have someone come up, but I'm going to read this to you, okay? I'm going to try to get through it without getting too emotional. So, Laura, this is a proclamation from the city of Yankton. So, whereas Laura Villanueva, a dedicated student of Sacred Heart School entering the 4th grade this fall, and the youngest daughter of Mike and Mary Lee, and sister to Liam, Kelsey, and Maya, And whereas Laura enjoys dance, swim, soccer, basketball, and piano, showcasing her diverse talents and interests, and whereas Laura has been selected as Miss South Dakota Junior Preteen at the National American Miss Pageant held in Madison, Wisconsin on June 28, 2025. And whereas the National American Miss Pageant is the #1 program for growing confidence in girls ages 4 to 24, providing a platform for young women to showcase their talents and ambitions. And while Laura, with aspirations of becoming a doctor, exemplifies the qualities of dedication, intelligence, and a desire to help people. And whereas Laura will represent South Dakota at the national competition to be held in Orlando, Florida in November, now therefore I, Michael Villanueva, do hereby proclaim Laura Villanueva as an outstanding representative of South Dakota and commend her for her achievements and contributions to the Yankton community. Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you.
There you go, girl. Would you like to say anything? Okay.
Thank you to the City Commission for letting me be here today. And I would just like to say that I'll do my best at the national competition, and I'll represent Yankton, South Dakota well.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Great job, Laura. Okay, next we have public appearances under routine business. So again, this public appearance is a time for persons to address the City Commission for items not listed on the agenda. And again, no action will be taken or raised under this item agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda, upon which an item then action will then be taken. Each person has 3 minutes to speak. So if you have anything to say, public, please come up and here's your time. Okay, I'm seeing no movement in the room, so we'll go ahead and move on to our consent items. Okay, first, under the consent items, we have to establish the public hearing for the sale of alcoholic beverages, establish July 28th, 2025 as a date for the public hearing on the request for a transfer of owner of a retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine license from Yankton, Missouri River Campground, LLC, to Brightbird Properties, LLC, doing business as Yankton, Missouri River KOA, 807 Bill Baggs Road. Item number 2, under the consent items, transient merchant license application, consideration of memorandum number 25-132 regarding an application from Harry Peden, DBA, County Fresh Farms, for a license to sell USDA frozen meat from a 26-foot freezer truck in the parking lot of 3210 Broadway Ave, Menards parking lot, from July 23rd, 2025 through August 22nd, 2025. Number 3, approving current volunteer firefighter list. Consideration of memorandum number 25-133, recommending that the City Commission approve the current list of volunteer firefighters per workers' compensation and SDCL requirements. Okay, what is the pleasure of the commission?
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I guess all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Anyone abstaining? And I actually will abstain just because I'm on that current volunteer firefighter list. Okay, number 3, old business. We have no old business this evening. Number 4, new business. So item number 1 under new business, the 10th Amendment to the Joint Powers Agreement, consideration of memorandum number 25-126, recommending the City Commission approve the 10th Amendment to the Joint Powers Agreement. Did you want to have some explanation on that at all?
I certainly can, Mayor.
Thank you.
So as everyone knows, we are in a joint powers arrangement agreement with the City of Vermillion, Clay County, City of Yankton, and Yankton County. And whenever we purchase something or change the nature of our agreement, purchase something with SRF or grant monies, all 4 parties have to agree. So in this case, Vermillion is looking to purchase a bulldozer. The cost to fund that bulldozer is just over $500,000. It's $511,000. The city of Vermillion applied for the SRF loan and grant, and they were approved in March. They were approved for $409,100 for a solid waste management loan and $102,000 in a grant. The loan term is 3.25% for 7 years. So this is all contingent, though, on all four parties agreeing, and they will certainly be using that at the Vermillion site, so they will be handling Yankton city and county refuse and refuse from private haulers and using that in their cells. So if you all approve this tonight, then tomorrow I am slated on the agenda to visit with the Yankton County Commissioners for the same thing, and once all parties sign, then Vermillion can move forward with the purchase.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Okay, Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the Commission? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Sarda.
Aye.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 2 under new business, Summit Street Water Main Replacement Project. Consideration of memorandum number 25-127, recommending that the City Commission accept the completed Summit Street Water Main Project and authorize the finance officer to issue a manual check to Masonry Components in the amount of $159,484.25. Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve. Move to approve, excuse me.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any Commission discussion? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Conkling.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 3 under new business, stop sign and yield installations. Consideration of memorandum number 25-128, recommending that the City Commission approve resolution number 25-27, which provides sign installation for an always stop at Wedgwood Drive and Highland Drive, and establishes a yield condition for north-south traffic at the 29th Street and Ruth Street intersection. Adam, do you want to do a little bit of explanation about that, if you don't mind? Thank you.
So the always stop location at Wedgwood and Highland Drive is it's the entrance to the Trailhead Learning Center. And we feel like this would be the best option to help the flow of traffic at that intersection with anticipated increased traffic due to the school being there. And then at Ruth and 29th Street, just another anticipating more traffic on Ruth and 29th making their way to the Trailhead Learning Center. Plus, as that development develops, there'll be increased traffic.
And especially around that school, I have to assume that having that always stop is going to be essentially a safety thing as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have a quick question, and it's, excuse me, it's related and unrelated, since we're talking about stop signs. So, Adam, can you clarify for me, because it is probably one of the things I've heard from quite a few citizens in Yankton, and I know has come before the board. How do you determine where get stop signs? And what's that whole process? Because, you know, I've had people come to me before and say, oh, this intersection's dangerous, we need to put a stop sign in, and I'm just curious, as it ties to this, does it have to be a change like a Trailhead Learning Center that really does distribute the traffic differently, or how does that all happen or come together?
So there's federal regulations associated with this, and there's a manual that identifies certain numbers of criteria that have to be met in order to place stop signs. With this situation, we meet most of the criteria and we're anticipating increased traffic flows. We want to avoid accidents before they happen. One of the main criteria in determining stop sign placement is accident numbers in a certain time period. So that's one of the main criteria. There's also a number of other criteria associated with the traffic at those intersections, but there is federal regulations we follow.
Perfect, thank you. I knew there was some rules and regulations there, but I could never remember what they were.
Well, I just want to say thank you too, Adam. I appreciate you guys being, and gals being proactive. I mean, it's important to identify what potential problem and fix it before it becomes a problem. So, good idea. Okay, with that being said, I've read that. Commission, what is your pleasure on that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Commission? Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Birch,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 4 under new business, proposed BY Water District easement on city-owned airport property. Consideration of memorandum number 25-129 recommending that the city commission approve resolution number 25-28 establishing perpetual right-of-way easements on airport lot A2 and airport lot A3. Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Commission? Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Mosier,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Birch,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 5 under new business, property plat. Consideration of memorandum number 25-130 regarding resolution number 25-29, a plat of Lot 7 of the Schulte subdivision in the south one half of the southeast one quarter of Section 35, T94N R56 west of the 5th Prime Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota. Address 3200 block of Denny Lane. Stephen Lori Drotzman, owners. Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Commission? Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Benson,
Aye.
Birch,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Abstain.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, item number 6 under new business. This is a release of option to purchase. Consideration of memorandum number 25-131 recommending that the city commission authorize the city manager to execute the release of option to purchase the described lots 6-6 through 9 and lots 10 through 13, except the east 107.58 feet, block 27, Lower Yankton City and County of Yankton, South Dakota. Do we, Brad, would you mind just discussing this a bit so that the commission knows what we're talking about here?
Absolutely. Mr. Richardson is here tonight. He's requesting the release of the option from property he originally purchased from the city of Yankton back in 2021. The property, the agreement included a phased development, 3 phases. Mr. Richardson has completed 2 of those phases. The right to repurchase deadline for that 3rd phase would have been December of 2024. We've now passed that. That's not a mandatory option to repurchase. It's not a mandatory repurchase, it's simply the option to repurchase. And Mr. Richardson, as you read in his letter, is requesting that that option be released.
Okay. Okay, Commission, do you have any questions?
I'd be curious, and I'm not saying this because I don't agree with it necessarily, but is this pretty standard to, release people from an optional buyback if for some reason? I mean,
in this instance, perhaps the unique thing is it's a relatively small lot, and the portion remaining that could be repurchased is a relatively small center portion of that lot. This is not completely unique, but not maybe the standard position we're in where the owner has completed 2 of the 3 phases, and as you read in the letter, is indicating desires to complete the 3rd phase, not to hold on to the property.
Mr. Richardson, do you have kind of a timeline or thoughts or what you're working on to complete this property?
Mm-hmm. Please just state your name.
Cody Richardson. Yeah, the timeline is more of waiting for the right fit, for the right business, as opposed to trying to put up a building as a spec building and not wanting to pour any concrete inside because you don't know where the plumbing's going to be, or if you build something that's 3,000 square feet and a good potential business that wants to go in there needs 4,500 square feet. So the thought was to wait for the right opportunity, for the right situation for that, as opposed to just trying to fulfill the timeline. And last year, I had requested an extension for basically the same reason. And I've had several people request to purchase that property, which is not something that's acceptable with our agreement, and also not something that I'm interested in doing, primarily because the goal was to create something there that would enhance retail, dining, things of that nature, so that that corridor down there continues to thrive and grow like it has been for the past 6, 7, 8 years. We've made some great leaps and bounds down there, so I'd like to just kind of try to make good decisions and have it make sense. So.
Great, thank you. I appreciate the work you've done down there. I know the buildings, as we're looking at the map, look very nice.
Thank you.
And I've frequented one of them pretty well.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions for Mr. Beast before he leaves his spot? I just want to say also too, Brad, it's good to have you here. Welcome. I'm sure we'll be hearing much more from you sitting in that spot. So it's really good to see you. Good to have you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, now that we've talked about that, Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion?
I just want to add, I drive by there every day, and I've driven by there for years and years, and what it used to look like and what they've done with it, especially with the new apartments across. And Yankton's a slow builder in retail, so I understand why Cody wants to wait until he gets the right thing, but I mean, it's night and day from what it was 15, 20 years ago, so keep up the good work.
Yes, thank you. Okay, any other commission discussion? Okay, see none. Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Birch,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Sarda,
Aye.
Conkling,
Aye.
Hunoff,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, that's it for new business. Now we have item 5, future business. So again, this is when the commissioners, we can address the commissioner regarding matters not on the agenda. We will not deliberate on these items, and we cannot act upon this at this time. Essentially, we can add a item to the future city commission meeting. Any commissioners, you have anything for the future business? Okay, we'll move on. So now we do have to adjourn into executive session to discuss contractual and personnel matters under SDCL 125-2. Commissioners, do I have a motion and a second to move into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, we'll adjourn into executive session.